And I think it was the only other article that was.
Oh, we're live, I think.
We are
Yes,
live.
we are live. Hi. I love
Hey,
how every
everybody.
stream starts with us going, are we live? We're live, right? Yeah, we're live. Okay, cool, we're
Oh
live.
wow, hi.
Yeah, we're jam packed this week, so we're gonna
Mm.
hop right off the bat. I cannot see you, Jordan, so I'm gonna fix that because
All right.
I hit the wrong button on Discord. Not Discord, on Did I close out your Discord?
Did it?
No, I did. That was a me problem.
Oh, okay.
That's me issue. Getting that
Hold
fixed.
on, I'm also
There we go. We're good now.
to make sure that everything is going smoothly. I'm gonna double check the stream on my phone really quickly.
Yeah, we're good. The stream on the
Hey,
phone's a little bit slower. Here
look,
we go.
look at
So,
this. Like we're actually doing like relatively pretty good on time. So hi everybody.
hello. Welcome to the weekly Eurovision fam stream here. Again, we are absolutely jam packed this week, so we're going to go ahead and have Jordan. Oh, go ahead. Well, it's jam packed. So we're going to talk about our site articles, Benidorm Fest results, Moldova choosing their song, what's happening with X Factor in Israel, Macedonia, Ireland, Sanremo, Eestil Laul, Melodi Grand Prix, Melfest starts this week, Supernova, Slovenia, Latvia's Supernova. Oh, I said Supernova twice, sorry. And then we're going to have also our continued coverage of the Lithuanian national selection. So,
Yes.
Jordan, do you want to go ahead and kick things off with your article you wrote for the site?
Absolutely. Okay, so those of you who have been following Sanremo understand that Mr. Mahmoud, second place in 2019, is back with the singer and rapper Blanco for Sanremo. Currently the favorite to win in the
Yeah.
national selection. Not just a national selection, Sanremo is also just an excellent show as is. I definitely recommend you check it out, just to kind of like take a look at the history of the show and everything going on with it. But aside from that, Mahmoud and Blanco's song BRIVIDI is the current favorite to win in Sanremo. And being a huge Mahmoud fan myself, I can't help but look at this extremely critically and kind of analyze what is the intention here with trying to go back to Eurovision. Is he trying to win again? Is this going to be the revenge of SOLDI in 2019 that got second place? There's a lot of things to contend with his participation in this year's San Remo. With this article, you kind of just see my delineated thoughts on that. Is this song my favorite in the San Remo? The answer is actually a lot more complicated than that. It's not exactly a yes or a no, but I'm going to be writing a lot more about this, probably a second or even third part as we get further along in the season because he's the current favorite to win. But if he wins San Remo, we're just going to have to see. That
Yeah.
essentially is my article about Mahmoud and San Remo. Go ahead and check it out. I'm going to be writing a lot more about that as the season goes on, if he wins or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the most recent with the article
Okay.
that we were able to put up on the site. You want to continue with the hosts, our news about the hosts?
Well, we actually also have another article, Benidorm
Yeah.
Blossoming the Elda. This
Uh-huh.
is basically just an article about Benidorm's Fest history, like a brief overview of the history of that competition. Because, this is the first time it's been used for selecting the artist to go to Eurovision, but it has existed and has a long history because it's based off of Sanremo as well. And it's kind of comparing the town of Benidorm to the town of Sanremo, and it goes into detail about that as well. So it's a pretty
Hmm.
interesting article if you want to learn about the history of
And Elder writes usually,
yes, she does.
so
She's a
check
great
it
writer.
out. Mhm.
So if you want to learn about the history of Benidorm Fest, you can check that out. And if you are interested in, maybe a town in Spain that we outside of Spain don't think about, Benidorm, you can read about that article too. Read about
Mhm.
that in the article as well. Both articles are in the description box. So the next bit of thing we're going to go over are the hosts. We got our hosts. I'm I'm still in shock, but the three hosts are going to be Laura Pausini, Alessandro Catalan, and Mika. And basically, this is huge because Pausini has had a great 2021. Her
Mhm.
21 was much better than like most of ours. And, she's pretty much like the biggest Italian artist outside of Italy and maybe even in Italy at this point. She's got 4 Latin Grammys, a regular Grammy, and Golden Globe, and got nominated for an Oscar, which is a lot. Like I said, her 2021 was great compared to mine, at least.
Not to
Um,
mention, he like has a great singing
yeah,
voice. Like outstanding.
Yeah, great, like absolutely fantastic. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm happy they went ahead and chose somebody who's a respected artist within the country.
Absolutely.
Then we have Alessandro Catalan. He is a TV host. He's hosted like X Factor in Italy, Total Request Live in Italy. I'm gonna call it that, even if it's Italian. And yeah, has multiple late night shows. With him, it's great that they're getting somebody who's well known for hosting, to host Eurovision. So that's good. And last is Mika. I'm pretty sure anyone watching the streams heard of Mika if you're like over the age of 15.
And if you love Grace Kelly.
I mean, honestly, I could tell you the first time I heard Grace Kelly. I know exactly where I was when that happened. But yeah, like, no, it's one of those things where, and also that's not even his best album. His best album is actually the one that came out, his third one. I can talk about this. Huh?
He looks absolutely great, by the way.
Oh, he looks fantastic. It's like, I remember like listening to him in like 2007 and be like, okay. But no, yeah. So those are our three hosts. And do you have any thoughts about that combination of hosts?
So at first, when I saw them on the Sanremo stage talking together, I was like, this is kind of an eclectic bunch of people, but their chemistry was just so great. Like when we had the three of them just up on the stage, kind of like just talking and then talking to Amadeus, even though it was mostly in Italian, I could just tell that like this is going to be something that works so well just because of how they can communicate with each other. I think it's going to be great from a show perspective, but also just to kind of showcase like the particularities about the personalities. I'm really excited to see how that manifests by the time we're in Turin.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree more with that statement. It's like, oh, okay, I don't understand the language, but I can tell these people are working really well off of each other here. So, yeah, because of that, I think they did a good choice. They made a good choice with who they chose to be the host of the contest. Also, I cannot wait for Graham Norton's reaction. The shade he is gonna have on him. Anyways, so let's go ahead and talk about Benidorm Fest's results.
Yep.
Gosh, would it be a Eurovision season without some kind of drama from the Spanish national selection? No, it wouldn't be.
It's the most dramatic thing that's happened, honestly.
Okay, so the winner was Chanel with the song Slow Mo. And kind of like the running the results from, I'll give you the results like the top. We'll do all 8. There's not that many of them.
Yeah.
Chanel won. Rigoberta Bandini was second. Tancha Guedes was third. Raiden came in fourth. Blanca Paloma with her song was number 5. Vara Brava was 6th. Gonzalo Hermida was 7th, and Shane was 8th. So honestly, our stream last week kind of got messed up due to technical issues. But in last week's stream, I did mention that I took back what I said about Chanel, because the way she performed, the way she performed Slow Mo was fantastic, and I do think she's deserved a deserved winner. She's one of those people who she came up, she completely changed my idea of what the song was, and if you can do that in a live performance, you automatically have my respect, and I'm here to be like, yeah, you know what, go ahead, you're doing great. Because of that, she wasn't my personal favorite by the time it was all over. I know going into everything, I said Tancha Guedes was my favorite. What ended up happening was Roberta took over from them to be my favorite, and Chanel was hanging out there in the top 3 for me still too. But yeah, I think she had a great performance that was very sleek, very polished, and she sounded fantastic. What do you think, Jordan?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this was one of the cases where it's like we didn't really pay attention to the song as closely as we should have. I think she was pretty intentional and not really like doing a bunch of PR prior to the performance, because she absolutely wowed us on the stage. She like flawless vocals, like probably the best dance number I've ever seen in a live Eurovision show. And there are a lot of just other elements that is just like, yeah, she is a deserving winner because she is just like a natural artist who can make those 3 minutes into just like the best 3 minutes ever. And there's no doubt in my mind that she is a deserving winner in that regard, but thinking about the other entries as well, this was a very hard fight. Without the demoscopic jury and without the professional jury, it would have been a lot more challenging for her, only because of just like the way that whole thing is set up, which kind of like resulted in the overall result that we ended up getting after Chanel.
I really think that Benidorm Fest needs to change around the way they do their scoring points, because I went through and I like redid the math where if the jury and if the jury was 30, if it was all 33% basically, like demoscrop, like how they do in Sanremo, where jury is 33%, like a third, and televote and demoscopic is a third, then there would have been a tie between Chanel and Tanchigueres.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the fact that, or if you don't do it that way, make it more proportional. Because if 70% of people vote for one song, that song should have more than 5 points more than the next person down. Like that doesn't make sense to me why they did it that way. And I do see why there's a lot of people upset with the fact that Tanchigueres didn't win. Because it's like the way that they scored it just came off as very much, as an American, it makes me think of the Electoral College, kind of.
Yeah.
It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I think that would need to be reworked. So in the future, rework it, Benidorm.
Yeah, and with that said, Tanchigueira should definitely come back again if they want to. And because like they have this huge pull, they have this huge crowd in Spain backing them. So I think they would have pretty good odds again if they wanted to go ahead and come back. But then again, the voting does need to be adjusted.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest takeaway from this is great song was selected, but let's adjust the voting. Again, because I honestly thought that most of the songs competing in this would have gotten Spain a really good result. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Moldova. They have selected their song. I am going to try to speak Romanian now. So it is called Trenutalciu, and that means, I think it means train. And it is performed by Zub. I'm sorry, Zub C. Zub. Featuring, I know it's hard to say, featuring Fraci Arahov, which are like the Arahov brothers. And so this is the third time that we've seen Zub at Eurovision. They've gone every decade now since since Moldova entered Eurovision. So like, they did the Bukunapata Toba back in 2006, which is a great, absolute banger. And in 2012, they had So Lucky. I'm glad to see that they're back. As far as the song goes, it is what you would expect from them. It is chaotic. It sounds like so much fun. It's basically a lot of trumpets and a lot of like that traditional silent kind of sound that you get when you think of Moldova or you think of the Balkans in general. And it's also got a rocky bit to it. Like there's a English part in the chorus, which is like, hey ho, let's go, folklore and rock and roll. And I think that summarizes the song perfectly. Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah, I do agree that I'm so happy that they kept the element of the traditional instrumentation and they're doing something that's true to themselves. I'm glad that they're being authentic with this entry. I really wanted to enjoy this. Like, there are so many parts about this that I really just wanted to like about it. And unfortunately, I don't think I do. This is the kind of song where it's like listening to it almost gives me anxiety. I understand that this is a song that was meant to advertise a train line from, like, I believe, Chisinau to another city. Cool. No, yeah, like that's amazing. And sure, like the stage show could be really imaginative and fun. I'm not going to discount that. But I don't know. Like as a song on its own, I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
It's okay. It's not for everyone.
I'm going to save that though, because I barely know anything about it. It's just an entry right now.
Yeah, like I think what it is it's a specific sound that I know a lot of people don't like.
Yeah.
I personally love the sound because to me that like Balkan trumpety-ness makes me think of ska music. So I really do like that sound because of that. And I totally get why it's not for everybody, but it's one of those things that I'm drawn to it. And right now, out of the 5 songs we have, it's like sitting at number 1 for me. So yeah, I know.
Wow.
It's gonna probably stay close to the top. But yeah, it's what I want from Moldova. And I'm, honestly, I'm not always the biggest fan of like artists coming back. But out of that national selection, out of the songs in the audition round, I really think that was the strongest one too. So Moldova made the best choice.
All
So
right.
let's go ahead and scoot on over to another. Yeah, North Macedonia is in the Balkans. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and scooch on over to another Balkan country. North Macedonia is having a national final this year. It is called There Eurosong, and it is going to be today, like tonight after the stream is over.
Yep.
So
Right
the
after this.
exactly, like there's a lot of back to back here.
Um,
So the 6 songs competing are Andrea with the song Circles, Kali with Love and Light, Laura and Ivanova with Flower of Sorrow, Reese Flower, I'm sorry, with the song Flying to Berlin, Victor Apodolovsky with Superman, and Yon Edie with Dreams. You want to go ahead and kick off what you think of these songs? Like, what's your favorite? And
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I'm not super captivated by this national selection. It's probably because they're still in a stage where it's just like pre-actual production,
Mhm.
pre-revamp. It's very raw, kind of like what's going on with this right now. It's just kind of their live performances with some very simple instrumentation.
Yeah,
The ones that stood out to me just from like hearing them for the first time were uh Lara Ivanova's Flower of Sorrow and Kali's Love and Light. I understand that there's a lot of hype behind Andrea's Circles. I don't really personally feel that song. It's a little too pop for me,
yeah,
but Lara and Kali's songs, I feel like when we have more professional production added and a revamp of the melodies too, because like honestly, the way the songs are constructed, I'm not super in love with. But
yeah,
North Macedonia has always the chance of completely blowing us out of the water when we get to Eurovision.
yeah,
Think Dardadevska, think Calliope.
yeah,
I trust them. I trust them.
yeah. My biggest disappointment is actually the fact that all these are songs are in English. I kind of wish we would have had
Yeah.
something not in English.
Same.
That being
Uh-huh.
said, Laura's got my favorite song. I really do enjoy Flower of Sorrow. It's like a really, the structure isn't quite what you would expect. It doesn't have like a traditional verse, chorus, verse kind of a structure.
Mm.
And I think that it's really strong. The lyrics are very poetic. And I think that this could really shine with the right staging. Like we could be looking at an absolutely excellent ballad result, from them. So I am looking forward to seeing what these are going to look like live later this evening. Speaking of this evening, we also have Ireland with their Eurosong 2022, which was a part of I think it's called the Late Show or Late Night. It's the Late Show. And they will be choosing who will be going to Eurovision tonight. We've spoken in more in depth about the songs. We've spoken more in depth about the songs in a previous stream. I'll have a link in the cards and a link in the description as well. For that, go timestamp that to go straight to Ireland for you guys. Honestly, good luck to everyone competing. I hope that Ireland, this helps reinvigorate the whole selection process in Ireland. And you know
Mhm.
what? I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, good luck to everybody.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck to everyone competing there. Let's go ahead and touch on Israel now. They had a contest last night where the 4 performers performed each of their 2 songs, and now those 4 of those songs will go on to the final in I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, the final tomorrow evening. So Inal Bibi with the song Jaja. Then we had Marionette, was her second song. Sapir Saban had 2 songs as well, Breaking My Own Walls and Head Up. Mikhail bin David had 2 songs, Don't and I Am. Then Elihudi had Blinded Dreamers and Nostalgia as his 2 songs. From those, the songs that were selected to compete are going to be Michael bin David with I Am. Elihudi, Blinded Dreamers, Inbal Bibi with Marionette, and then finally Sapir Saban with Breaking My Own Walls. Do you have any thoughts about what of the 4 that are going on you like the most?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like talk about my favorite for the sake of time. But so my favorite to be hopefully selected out of these 4 songs, I guess would have to be either Marionette or Blinded Dreamers. And like one thing I do need to be critical about Marionette though, it does feel like a very X Factor type
Yeah.
song. It feels so X Factor, and I say
Yeah.
that like with kind of an air of disappointment because it's just like I'm getting Sia's Chandelier.
Yep.
Like, you know how
Yeah.
X Factor was kind of like obsessed and would do nothing but listen to like that song and play it
Yeah.
like all over the world, every X Factor.
Yep.
It's like that specific 2014 genre of pop. Like I don't know why they're like stuck there. A lot of these songs honestly felt so similar to one another.
Yeah.
Marionette, I guess, had to be stronger than Zaza. I loved Zaza because it kind of was more showcasing of
Yeah.
what Israel is trying to do in Eurovision, like Fucker Levi, Set Me Free, like Toy, etc. Like this was more in that lane, and I feel like it would be a better functioning Eurovision song. Yeah, I mean, clearly that wasn't the popular vote. Marionette seems like
Yeah.
it's going to be the better song for Inbal, and yeah, Blinded Dreamers was the other song I liked, but I didn't even like that one as much.
Honestly, with all of the songs, they all feel very X Factor to me. With
Yeah,
all of them. It's very much like, oh, this is your winning single as an X Factor artist. And it's like, that's not good for Eurovision.
no cable
Um,
feel. Like, it's just too cable feel.
it's like it's like Anya Nielsen's song from Denmark.
Laying down my arms.
Yeah. Tell me that song. It's the same kind of vibe there. Where it's like there's nothing really about them that make the song itself stand out. Now that being said, we've got plenty of time to revamp. So if whoever gets selected, Israel revamp it, please. Because at this point, I'm looking at these songs like none of these really click with me and make me go, oh, I like that. You know what I mean? And none of them even make me go, oh, I hate that. It just makes me go, oh, that exists. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go on with my day.
I really hope they do like a Set Me Free style plastic surgery with it. Like they need something dramatic of a revamp in order to like make me actually drawn in and not just sound like an X Factor song in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's honestly how I'm feeling about that as well. If I had to pick a favorite, I'm gonna go with Breaking My Own Walls.
Really?
I know I'm not usually a ballad girly, but here we are. Yeah, I think that one could really be shined up very well to bring us something good. Now let's go ahead and let's go on to San Remo. We are currently on the fourth of 5 nights in San Remo. San Remo. So I think tonight's covers night.
Tonight is covers night, yeah.
Okay. Gosh, it's been a marathon. This is like the first year I've watched every single night of San Remo. Usually I just watch like the Thursday night show and the Saturday night show. And leave it at that. But yeah, if we're gonna just kind of go over the top 3 right now in the rankings, which are Mahmoud and Blanco, Elisa, and Gianni Moradi are the current top 3 favorites as of last night. That being said, I kind of want to talk about our personal favorites, like our personal top 3. I'm going to start with like my third place right now, which is Ciao Ciao by I love your little clappy hands. By La Representante di Lista. I love this. This song makes me want to make bad choices. Really bad. Like, I just want to make horrible decisions and have a good time. I honestly, like, this song, I love it for that reason. Do you want to say your third? Your current third?
So my third place is also Ciao Ciao. But like that might even change because this song, like I'm honestly, it's growing on me more than BRIVIDI has grown on me.
Yeah.
And that's because this song, it's just like, this would be the perfect host entry if you think about it. Because it's just like, this has an Italian hook. Everyone can dance along to it. Everyone can like have fun with it. And it's just a ton of fun. I want La Representante de Lista to go to Eurovision at some point. Whether or not they go this year, like, I don't know. I'm sad either way because it's just like we don't get one of the incredible songs in my top 3.
Yeah.
But generally, this song I love so much. It's like absolutely ludicrous how like this is 100% the most pristine, perfect host entry to me just because of how fun it is, how accessible it is. It's everything that you could want out of like the country who's giving you this contest.
Yeah, exactly. No, I couldn't agree more with that. I love Ciao Ciao. My number 2 is currently Michael Bravi. I love his voice. It's so good. It's like the way he sings. It feels like he just was like, you know what? I'm gonna reach in your chest. I'm gonna hold your heart, until this song is over. And it's like, oh, it's so effective on me. I absolutely adore that. I think it's so good.
I kind of get like a Mia Martini from his voice, you know, like the
Yeah.
raspy, like deep and like subtle.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he sounds like that, but he does.
He
I
does.
also love it when people's like voices don't match what you think they're gonna sound like. What
Mhm.
you know you think they would sound like. Uh, who's your number two currently?
Right. Second place currently is Elisa with
Mm-hmm.
Forse Sei Tu. That song, okay, like it is a classic Sanremo ballad in the traditional sense, but it's just performed so well. Elisa's one of those like flawless performers who, like, you could just tell by the sound of her voice, she has like
Yeah.
theatric training just just by how well
Mm-hmm.
she executes every single note. I love the melody. I think it's one of the strongest melodies in all of Sanremo, and it's just absolutely pristine. And it's like I love a good artistic ballad. This satisfies that mark, and I'm so glad she's like currently among the top three. That's
Yeah.
just kind of like satisfying in my sense of just like wanting a really good, strong Italian ballad.
Yeah.
Like that satisfies that, and I just love the song.
Yeah. And yeah, she sounds great. My number one though, we're gonna talk about real quick is Mahmoud and Blanco. I love this. This is like, oh gosh, like I get this. Like again, I'm here. I am sitting here with like two ballads as my favorites. It's
I got you. I
And
got you.
no, no. I think this is great. Like I love it. I like a duet when they actually have chemistry. Holy crap, a duet with chemistry. Can we send like if we send this to Eurovision? We could be like, hey guys, you can make a duet and have it not be like two people singing at each other. That's
Yeah.
possible. So here we go. Yeah, no, I love BRIVIDI. Like the first time they performed it, I was like, oh, like I was working, 'cause I'm a bad employee, and I kind of stopped what I was doing. I was like, oh, let me put this person on hold real quick.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Like honestly, if that was that situation, I had to like pay attention to it because it's so good. Yeah, like I honestly love that one.
Yeah. Brevity is also my winner, but just okay. Smallest quip I could say about that. I do feel like it is a step down from Ghetto Limpo, so a step down from his like Mahmoud's previous like release in terms of album. It does feel more like it's like half Blanco's song, but it works perfectly that way.
Hmm.
Like every time I listen to the song, it grows on me more and more. There's something so artistically just advanced and intelligent about this that requires possibly months and months of dissecting. I love the fact that in Sanremo the staging was simple.
Yeah.
Like it would just show their chemistry. And it was like this is such like a touching love ballad, not typical of like a Mahmoud sound, it's more typical of like a Blanco sound, but seeing them just interact on the stage without staging together, like there was no choreographing. It's just all
Yeah.
their own chemistry.
Yeah.
We don't get something like that in Eurovision often. I mean, like, I understand why it's a favorite to win in Italy, and if it does win in Italy, then I do hope they keep that dimension of it because that is what makes it perfect to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like not polished, and I love having that
Mhm.
not
I
polished.
like it rustic, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So those are our thoughts on Sanremo. Tomorrow, gosh, we're gonna have the Italian entry. We're gonna have the host entry tomorrow, so we'll see. Let's go ahead now and just talk about Eestil Laul real quick.
Hmm.
So Eestil Laul, the first semifinal happened yesterday. The second semifinal is tomorrow.
Hmm.
The results of the first semi, our qualifiers are at Lapland with Avogules, then Alesa with Fire, Stegrasta with Interstellar, Andrei Zavakin featuring Greta Paya with Miss Mood Sab, and then Elena Nechieva with Remedy. Kind of just touching off this. Number one, I want to start off by saying if I don't like Remedy, but if Elena would have NQ'd after what happened to her yesterday, I would have been ready to throw hands.
Yeah, same.
Because when she fell, I thought it was a part of the show. I'm not lying. When I first saw it, I was like, because she kept going. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I legitimately thought that was supposed to happen. And then when I saw, like, she had hurt her hand, I was like, oh, it wasn't supposed to happen. Because she's that professional. Like, she
Yes. Yeah.
kept her composure and she performed that. And I was like, you know what? anytime anything goes wrong and you keep going, you get points for me automatically. Like 100%. Like I legitimately, like, yeah, no, she deserved to go through, and if she hadn't, I would have had to throw hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's how I
I
feel.
completely agree. I completely agree. And it's also like just like how hard she fell. Remember like after her high note and it's just like I just hear this loud like bang echo. That's when it occurred to me. It's just like, was that happen? And then like when she got up, she had less than 1 second to decide to stand up and continue.
Yeah.
She had less than a second to make that decision, and she did. And that was just, I'm so happy she did.
Yeah.
Because that means we get to see her in the final this time. Hopefully, they don't drop her because you guys, what the heck?
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what went wrong there at all, but
I shouldn't be
like
laughing this much. Like, it shouldn't be as
I
funny as it is.
yeah, it's one of those things where like, you know what? I don't like Remedy, but I like Elena. That's how I
Mhm.
feel there. As far as like what of these songs, honestly, I think like probably the Miss Nud Sab by Andrei Zavakin and Greta Paya is my favorite of the qualifiers.
Mm.
And we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks there. Do you want to say kind of like who your favorites are, or your favorite, or
Yeah, so among these qualifiers, my favorite would have to be Alina Nechaeva. I'll be honest, none of the qualifiers were the ones that I wanted to qualify. I wanted Helen to qualify. I wanted
yeah,
Marilyn to qualify
yep,
because that's one of my favorite songs in the whole season. And I also wanted Laulu Lind, the singers of Laulu Lind, Trini
yeah,
Toya, and France. And okay, there was one more artist. I can't find them right now, but I'm not surprised that the others qualified. I am a little surprised that Elisa was able to qualify though over Marilyn with
yeah.
five. Neither of them got to perform, so I'm just kind of curious how that all like went down with the voting. But that could be something we look at a little bit later. Congratulations to the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Remedy is my favorite from the semifinal.
Yeah. All right. So tomorrow, semifinal two. In
Mhm.
semi two, Yuris Pakusuta. Oh, sorry. Yuris would be performing Pakusuta. Jakob Tusk with Quivide. Boa Madu with Mita Kraukas. Evelyn Samuel with Waterfall. Black Velvet with Sandra. Pure Mud and Shira with Golden Shores. Mayan with Miletu. Sorry. Minimal Wind featuring Elizabeth Tiffany with Make Me Feel This. Stefan will sing Hope, and then Anna Sleen will sing Champion. Of what's happening tomorrow, do you have a personal favorite?
I have two personal favorites actually. So Melody Mamayan, I think this is like slightly reggaeton, very sleek pop, very
Mm-hmm.
modern for Eestil Laul, very 2022 sound. It's very
Yeah.
fresh. I really like the sound that Mayan is bringing. I hope she
Yeah.
qualifies in this. I really am curious about what the stage performance is going to be.
Yeah, same.
But
Yeah.
the second one that I'm curious about is Anna Celine's Champion. This is a Schlager anthem. It's one of those things that would be like touted in Melfest and then get an automatic qualifying ticket just by all like the Schlager moms. And I'm a Schlager mom. At this point, I am a Schlager mom. Like
Araya is your
I
Schlager child.
love songs like this. It's so good. I love it. This is another song that I need to qualify just by my own personal volition.
Oh, yeah,
How about
no.
you?
For me, I'm gonna agree with Mayan. I really am curious to see what that's gonna be like live. And that song, it's just a good song too. It's like a solid, good song. My
Mhm.
other one is actually Evelyn Samuel. Um, I like Waterfall. I mean, it took a bit
Really?
for it to grow on me, but I remember, oh, there's a theremin solo. So then I'm like, yeah, there's a theremin solo. And I'm just thinking of
What about
like,
Jeremy Solo?
I want to see the theremin on stage. I want you to like
You're very welcome.
mime theremin for me, please, because I know it's an instrument that not a lot of people know about. And it kind of looks a little weird when you're playing it. It kind of looks like you're conducting a band. So
Mhm.
I do. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see how it's staged
She's the
too.
one playing it.
I know. I love it. Like, have you ever played around with a theremin?
No, I've
It's so
never even
much fun.
seen
It's
one.
like you got like it's you're like using both hands, and it's kind of
Yeah,
hard to explain. But like it's fun to do. Like I we had one in my band class.
I would probably not.
Yeah. And yeah, those are my two there. And I would agree with Anna Celine and Champion. I do like a Schlager moment. Schlager is the best thing to sing, like just belt in the shower. So we're gonna go ahead and head over the North Sea towards Norway. I'm trying to like make transitions happen. Um,
That was pretty cute.
okay, there we go. Thank you. So, up in Norway, we had the third heat, and the result was that Oda won with Hammer of Thor. I said it right this time, guys. And I mean, she was like, I think she was my winner. Yeah, she was my winner from the from that heat. It's the first heat so far where my winner won. Um, and
Your sea shanty.
I like a sea shanty. Sea shanty was great. It was a bit cliche with the staging. They have the drummers there. But like I thought it was really effective how they used the fog and the lighting to kind of be like you're sitting in a cloud on a stormy sea or something like that. It was solid for that. Other people or the other song I really liked there was Marie Bola. Number one, I think the only reason she didn't I'm gonna say the reason she didn't win her little duel is because because she was up against Oda. Never mind. Either one of them I would have wanted to win, but I think Maria was held back by like the fact that she stood on her grandma's coffee table, and I think the Norwegian grandmas weren't okay with that. But I thought the staging was so much fun. The song was so much fun. I want to see her come back. Like, can we have her come back, please, Norway? Please, I want her at Melodi Grand Prix again. Did you have any thoughts about Norway you wanted to work through?
So, Oda's song, okay, yeah, this song is like 10 words long, but the staging gave us everything we needed. Like there was kind of like an only teardrops moment, like when like the camera zoomed out and we saw the drum line with her singing. It was very dramatic. It like the lighting just suited perfectly, nailed the vocal. It's no question why she qualified. It was the most solid performance of the bunch, but my favorite song in this heat has to have been Your Loss, Maribola's song. Like
Yeah.
that song, I don't know. Like it again, it's kind of like teen pop punk, but I'm drawn to that. I also really liked Titans, the song, the performance, not so much. The
Yeah.
performance felt a little disjointed. Um, yeah, I would say generally my favorite had to be Hammer of Thor, and then very close second was Your Loss. I think Your Loss should have been in the final battle.
Yeah. And then let's just go ahead and go on, just talk about the auto qualifier North Kid. Um,
Do you?
yeah, the song isn't for me. Um,
Me.
this is a song for future wine moms. I don't drink wine. Um, I don't know how else to phrase it. Besides, it's like one of those songs where it's just not for me. It sounds fine, but it's not anything I'm ever gonna seek out personally. Um, Other than that, I thought the staging was interesting, but I felt like the fingering they were doing when they were miming the guitar was a little. It didn't seem quite right to me. I'd have to grab a guitar and try playing around with it, and that was a little distracting. I was like, why aren't their hands moving? Why isn't that happening? I did like the malfunction curtain. I thought the malfunction
Yeah.
curtain. I know that wasn't what was supposed to happen, but they did well. They performed well, and they worked around that. And again, if anything goes wrong with your staging and you still keep going and it doesn't distract you, I automatically love you. Like you're automatically getting bonus points from me.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to say about the auto qualifier?
I just kind of found it slightly tiring that we got two ballads with kind of peachy colored staging during this
Yeah,
heat. Like,
honestly, they need to get rid of doing the duels like they do. Because
yeah.
for me, with those two songs, like with Sturla and with Vilda, it was the same song to me. The staging was very similar and the songs were very similar. And neither one of them really got to shine and stand out like they should have. Um, I I think both of them would have benefited from having an audience, especially Starla.
Yeah.
Starla's staging would have been elevated dramatically by there being a live crowd there. And, you know, and so whoever designed his staging maybe didn't take that into consideration. Whereas with Vilda, her staging was more conducive to being able to work through the fact that there are no live audiences. So for her, you know, she got that benefit. So honestly, I think it came down to staging to decide which one was which,
Yeah,
because to me they're both very, very similar songs.
I agree.
Alright, so next we're gonna just talk about the heats. We're on our last heat now, and our four songs competing are Alexandra Joner with Hasta la Vista, Maria Mon with Fly, Kim Vigard with La Melodia, Sophie Flavong with Made of Glass. Those are kind of our four competing songs, and let's just talk about kind of how you feel about each of them. Do you want to start off with talking about? Let's start with Alexandra.
Yeah. So, Alexandra Joner, I'm very disappointed in her actually. She had my favorite song in the 2015 MGP being Cinderella. That's one of my favorite MGP songs ever. Hasta la Vista seems so like Melfest reggaeton lazy.
Yeah,
I'm not rating. Like,
yeah,
do your own homework on that. Sorry, folks. But
yeah. No, honestly,
um,
it's like it. If it was 2018, this would be fine.
right? Yeah,
We're kind
exactly.
of
Or like
over
2017.
this musically now. We're kind of
Mhm.
over this, you
Yeah.
know. Now I'm gonna just talk about like Maria Mon real quick. I do like a folky tune. Love the soprano voice. It's up my alley.
Mhm.
And I think this is a pretty one here.
I'm just gonna say Fly, Maria Mon. This is my favorite song in Norway. I love this. Like it is not just a Viking anthem. It has vocal complexity. It has performability. The music video is so cinematic and beautiful.
Hmm.
This is my personal ideal Norwegian entry
Okay.
in the Viking sense. Like
Honestly,
I need this.
honestly, she's not my favorite. Even competing, my personal favorite is Sophie Fjellvang competing
Mm,
this week.
mhm.
I'm being a ballad girly this week. I'm not normally ballady,
I
but
noticed.
I love Made of Glass. Like it genuinely,
So good.
it's so good, and it really like it touches me. But honestly, Maria is great too. Like either one of them, I want to win this heat. Um,
Yeah, I hope it's
and I really hope that's the golden duel. Like the last duel, I want to be those two. Because that way each of them really get to shine. And you don't have the same song, like similar-ish songs, competing in the first round again. Like they need to figure out something with those duels. I don't like the way they do them. Yeah, I
Made
think
of Glass is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous ballad, and if she goes through, then I really wouldn't be surprised. It is a very challenging song, though. So
yeah,
best of luck.
and Fly also gorgeous.
Hmm.
They're both amazing. Then we're just gonna touch on Kim real quick, who's the last competitor. I'm not a big fan of contemporary like this kind of genre. Um, the chorus is just basically a lot.
If you're not Il Volo,
Even
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 Il
then,
Volo.
I if they were singing a chorus where it was just mostly laws, I would be done with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't
It's,
need
it's,
this. But yeah, good luck to
yeah.
everyone competing still. Last song we're gonna touch on in Norway is the auto qualifier Subwoofer. Um, okay, I don't like this song. I find it to be highly irritating. It is like someone
Ooh.
took and constructed what I don't like and put it in a song. It's just the lyrics are, the sound is, like I don't like the song. However, I do like the concept. I like the idea of two. Again, I like having fun. So, idea of two wolves that live on the moon and like are the biggest pop stars in the galaxy. That's fun. Bring me a crazy backstory like that. I love that kind of thing. So because of that, I'm pro subwoofer. I'm anti give that wolf a banana.
Mm.
So how do you feel about that
Yeah.
one?
So I like it, but this is very Norwegian silly. By Norwegian silly, I'm thinking like Norwegian pop 2010 to like 2015. Like they're gonna like do a sound that's just fun and not meant to be like critically analyzed in any way. I can appreciate it in that sense. It's not my favorite in Norway overall, but I do respect it and I do see why it's a favorite, and it's because Norway, they like their pop music just can tend to be silly at times, and it could be enjoyable. I mean, sure. Like I've already kind of like started mentally preparing myself. It's like, okay, if this is at Eurovision, what could it be? And yeah, I don't disagree with it, and I probably like it way better than you do, and it's already kind of just like mid-table for me.
Yeah. So those are our thoughts about what's happening in Norway this weekend.
Hmm.
Again, good luck to everyone competing. We're gonna head back over that North Sea to Latvia and talk about Supernova. We've only got about 15 minutes left in the stream, so we're gonna be kind of fast on these last few ones. So for Supernova, we have this. We have the first semi. Well, there's one semifinal and a final, and so there's 17 songs that are singing to get 10 spots in the final. Just kind of going through them really quickly. Oh, okay, never mind. I shouldn't have gotten distracted by that. I just got a pop-up alert. So Siti Zini with Eat Your Salad, Meeks Dukas with First Love, Linda Rusinitz with Pay My Own Bills, Alina Gluzanova with Pibutor, Pibutor, Round with Plans, Patrick Peterson, Can't Get You Out of My Head, Miss Yus Milam with Rich Itch, Kato with Promises, Meeks Galavaninkis with I'm Just a Sinner, Marcus Riva, If You're Gonna Love Me, The Coconuts, In and Out of the Dark, Almanada, I'm Letting You Go, Bermuda Divistoris with Bad, Beatrice Heisler with On the Way Home, Selma with How, Bouillons with He, She, You, and Me, and then finally Inspo with A Happy Place. So those are songs that are competing, and we're just going to go ahead and kind of go over our top three. I'm going to start off with my third place, which is actually Amanada right now. I love Amanada. She is a musical genius. Absolutely enjoy her. This is not her best work, though. But even Amanada, when she's not at her best, is still solid. And I think that this ballad is a strong example of like kind of what she can do. Well, not a strong example of what she can do, but with some tweaking, it could really shine.
Oh yeah, so my third place is also Aminata.
Oh, wow.
And I am I'm disappointed with it because I know what she's capable of. And like after the revamp, I was also disappointed with the fact that like not a ton was changed about it. But then again, she could be very imaginative with the stage show. Like I'm not discounting her genius. She could just be ready to wow us like toward the very end. So I'm holding on to hope for that one.
Yeah. So my second place currently is actually Patrick's Peterson. I feel like that's kind of shocking to some people. But then again, the song's a throwback, but it's more of like a late 70s kind of like loungy throwback. And I totally vibe with it. It's like because we're getting so much 80s throwback like this season. I'm happy to see something not 80s that's still throwbacky.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I really like the bass line is fantastic. And like his voice isn't perfect, but it works really well for the song. And like the keyboards, oh, this is good. Like I like the composition probably more than anything else in it, but I really find myself wanting to listen to it again. And who's your current second?
My current second would have to be Bermuda's song "Bad." Has a very early noughties melody with kind of like a boy bandish vibe,
Yeah.
like kind of a stinky kind of melody. But it's also one of the melodies that stood out to me. Like I think it's just generally pretty catchy. I've never seen them perform live. I'm kind of curious how that's going to be because they don't look like your typical boy band. But I don't know.
They look
Even then,
so
like
aggressive. Like, I love it though at the same time. Like it's like what's happening here? It's fun though.
yeah.
I'm sorry. And
Who's your winner?
my winner is Elena Gluzanova. I love her voice. I like how like on the like verses it's all very staccato. And then once you get into that chorus, it's like given a chance to really let her and the strings shine. I think this is gorgeous. I love this song. Again, I'm being a ballad girly. I'm like not used to this.
Old.
I love it. I really think that I don't see anyone talking about it, but like yeah, that's gonna be the one that I think is the strongest so far. Well, the strongest based off of the studio versions only.
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like it has a lot of hope to it. It is not my winner though.
And
My winner currently is Beatrice Heisler with On the Way Home.
she's great.
I don't know, it kind of seems like you're playing Galaga. Like there's such like a simple kind of like stripped back synthiness to it that's not just like immediately like 80s mode. I don't know. I kind of just feel like it's so pleasant to listen to that I kind of just automatically like it just because of how pleasant it is.
Yeah.
It's not the riskiest thing ever, but it is the easiest on the ears, in my opinion.
It's great. Like, honestly, I think a lot of people, like, I didn't listen to Supernova for the first time until last Saturday. And people were, like, kind of, like, dogging on Supernova this year. And I'm like, why are people complaining? There's some really good songs in here. And Beatrice is definitely on there. Like,
Yeah.
like, that song is beautiful. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, that was my reaction. And I had that reaction of, ooh, I like this a lot watching, like, listening through all the songs. So, yeah, no, like, I totally get that. And I honestly, you know, let's hope our, like, faves qualify. Because,
I know.
like, honestly, Supernova, like, Latvia has some magic in here. And I wish them all the luck. I know a lot of people kind of are writing them off already. I'm not ready to do that. No, not at all. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk about EMA. I should have structured this better. Next week we'll have better, so we can make more transitions easier. Yeah. So EMA is tomorrow. There will be 10 songs competing. July Jones with Girls Can Do Anything. David Amaro with Sevendor Silepa. Lay Serpentine with Tudteb Ve Lak Zogdi. Barvin and Brian with Kasye. Luma with All In. Stella Sophia with Tuin Zad. Jonathan Holler with Obijore, and Batista Cadillac with Meme Pravili. Oh, wait, there's 2 more artists. Zaza Somilnikar with Viloga Stalu, and then finally Manosh with Sisama. So, out of the songs competing, I feel like the one that's the strongest for me personally is July Jones.
Yes. Agreed.
Very Gwen Stefani. I think it's giving me that first album she released solo.
Yes.
That's a great album. I'll leave it at that. So I am looking forward to seeing what this is going to be like live.
Yep. July Jones is also my favorite. Feels very drumliney, early noughties, kind of like R&B pop direction. Definitely like a Gwen Stefani kind of like flavor to it.
Yeah.
And I think that could be like what a change for Slovenia if they end up picking that.
Yeah. Honestly, like the Second to Me has songs I like more, like has kind of more songs I enjoy. But in the semifinal, I really do think that July Jones is probably the strongest entry.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone else you want to talk about in Slovenia?
I thought Luma was pretty interesting. They kind of gave like a Zala Gasper like without, I don't know, like they kind of gave a Zala Gasper like
it made you think of Sebi a bit.
Kind of.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I can see that. And my thing is though, it feels derivative of Zala and Gasper. So that's my thing of like holding back from them going through. I mean, I want them to qualify and keep trying at EMA, but it sounds more like a derivative than what you would what you would want to have for your song you send to Eurovision. But kind of we only have 7 minutes before like we get national finals kicking off, so we're gonna hurry through the next 2, which is Pabadom Ishnal. So the first semi-final happened last week. Qualifiers for Queens of Roses. Eestil Koyeleviete, Gabrizi, and Lolita Zero. Kind of just want to touch on a couple artists here for me personally. Queen of Roses, still love this. I love Lithuanian and Vogue. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't stop. And then another one I wanted to do is just Lolita Zero. Each time I hear, like, I'm Not Your Mother, I like the song more and more. Or, Not Your Mother, I'm sorry. I'm Not Your Mother is the game my mom used to play with my sister and I, where she turned off the lights and said, I'm not your mother, I'm a demon, and chased us around the house. It was fun. It was fun, okay?
I gotta write that down.
It was so much fun. I'm not lying. My mom used to scare the crap out of my sister and I. We just had a good time. Mom was also a goth at the time. This is back when my mom was cool. Sorry. But yeah, no, I really enjoy that. Suits the kind of demonic cabaret look that we got going on in the staging and the costuming. Those two are probably the strongest for me in the semi. And I think Lithuania, like, you guys have some magic here.
Hmm. I agree. And just like to be really quick with it, Lolita Zero was also my favorite of this heat or semifinal. Sorry, yeah, it was my favorite performance. I like that it's an art performance, not necessarily a vocal performance. I
Hmm.
also think just Day's performance was really interesting. I love the artistic like concept that she brought to it,
I
like
love her
the whole like
costuming.
with it.
That
It's just
outfit.
ooh, it felt so good. It felt so rich.
Yeah, that outfit is gorgeous. I need that outfit. That's how I feel like you stay. Like, that outfit, top notch. Um, So, semifinal 2 is happening tomorrow. Our competitors are Mary Mo with Get Up, Vilia with 101, Urte Salagvayete with Running Chords, Yeva Zasumaskaite with, oh my gosh, Yeva Zasumaskaite with I'll Be There, Auguste, Verodatieta with You'll Before You're 6 Feet Under, Ruta Loop with Call Me From the Cold, Titus Benes with Getting Through This, Monica Liu with Sentimental, Musu X with Love That Hurts are the competitors. Out of those ones, who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
So I have one answer actually, Monica Liu. So
Love
that
her.
song.
That's my
I
favorite
don't get
too.
it. I don't understand why it's just
It's
so
so
beautiful,
good.
so polished, so good. Everything about it is just what I need. I don't care. This is the song I want to win.
What did she put in that song? Because, like, it is addictive. And that performance, where you're looking like
I'm loving a
Sally
bowl cut. I'm
Bowles,
loving a bowl
I
cut.
oh, everything about that. I love it. It's so great. Like, honestly, I
It's so
kind of
good.
want that to win in Lithuania overall. Either
Please.
Monica Liu or Queens of Roses. Either one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Those are my two favorites that are left in Lithuania at this point. But yeah,
Mm.
I honestly I'm looking forward to seeing Monica Liu. I also kind of want to see what Urta does with the staging because, like I said, running chords, there's something there. It just needs some
Something.
tweaking, and so like I want to
Yeah.
see if those tweaks happen tomorrow. But yeah, yeah. And as always, thanks. Good luck to everyone there. Now, it's been a marathon. We've only got like 4 minutes left to get through
Mhm.
Melfest somehow. Um, yeah, let's just get through Melfest real quick. Our songs competing in the first semi of Melfest are Malu, Pritz with Bananas, Theodore with some Duville, Shirley Clamp with Let There Be Angels, Omar Rudberg with Moving Like That, Diane Starhead with Hullabaloo. Diane. No, that should be Dennis,
Done.
right?
Done.
Donna. I auto corrected some things because I was typing this on an iPad. Cornelia Jacobs with Hold Me Closer and Robin Bingston with Innocent Love. Let's just kind of talk about who who we think is going to be like our personal tops for each of them for
Yeah.
this one. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, I have two favorites from the snippets that we heard, and those are from Shirley Clamp and Cornelia Jacobs. I know I'm going full ballad with this heat, but Shirley Clamp kind of reminds me, like, I kind of get like a Martina McBride sound
Yeah.
with it. I think it could be like a nice classic type of country ballad. And also with Cornelia Jacobs, I do kind of get a similar feeling that we have with Elsie Bay and MGP.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a very strong symphonic kind of
Yeah.
like stripped back, like intimate like you and me kind of quality to it. I really liked the snippet, and I'm holding out for hope that one of them is able to qualify or at least get to AC because I do think they're the strongest songs in this heat. How about you?
So Cornelia Jacobs, I agree, is one of the strongest songs. It doesn't sound like what you'd expect from Melfest. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that, I think that Norway should really be support. Not Norway. Oh my God, Sweden should really be throwing some support behind it because right now, kind of Sweden is kind of like in a stagnant nature. They're not getting chord results, but they're at a point where they've got to make a change, or else they're going to be not qualifying again. And I
Uh-huh.
think that we've only heard 7 songs so far, so we've only heard a fourth of what's going to be competing. I think that Cornelia has a song that's not what you expect from Melfest,
Hmm.
and it's something that not only would you not expect it, you go, oh, that's Sweden, really?
Yeah.
So because of that, I really think that they should be looking at her like as a potential to go through. another one I'm looking at, I feel like it's going to go direct to final, is Omar. Moving like that, it's contemporary right now because we talk about, Latin flavored stuff or whatever. Kind of sounds dated, but this doesn't sound dated. This sounds like what's happening. Like, okay, I live in the States, right? So our charts are weird right now. Like, number 1 on the charts is from Encanto. We don't talk about Bruno. And number 2, not number 2, but also on the charts is Under the Pressure. So, like, we're kind of having a little flirty moment with Latin music again, but it's not like that reggaeton flavor. And this isn't that reggaeton flavor either. This is more poppy.
Yes. It feels Swedish, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely feels Swedish. But for me, I think Cornelia Jacobs is probably, Cornelia Jacobs is probably the strongest one. And I really think that with the right staging, this could really be special. Right.
Same.
So, and it's 2:00. Look at us.
We made it. We made
Woo!
it. This is probably the most comprehensive stream yet.
Yeah, this is our most compact, like everything's in this stream. We got through it in about an hour. We've got national finals to watch now. As always, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Please subscribe. Leave comments. We can talk about things. Like, I'm in that comment section anytime. I'm in the comments, ready to go and answer questions or talk about things with you guys. But thank you so much again for joining us. Don't forget to check out the articles. They're in the links below. And join us next week. So, we've got national finals.